Hey everybody! So yesterday we learned about making line plots, and you guys all did a fantastic job making those line plots. You collected all of your information and put it on your line plot. So today we are going to analyze them just like we analyzed bar graphs. We're going to analyze line plots, which just means we're going to read them and try to answer some questions about them. So yesterday we made a line plot that looks similar to this one about our temperatures in September. So if we think back to this and what this all means, these were all our temperatures, and if we wanted to put a label on this, this would be temps in September. Okay, so that would be our label to tell us what these numbers even mean. So this would mean these were the temperatures, and each x is equal to 1 day. So there are 2 days, there's 2 x's, so that means there's 2 days where it was 84 degrees. There was 1 day where it was 85 degrees. I don't have any x's, so that means there were 0 days where it was 86 degrees. And I can go through each of these. So each of these x's represents 1 day. So as we are looking at bar graphs, we should be able to answer some questions about them. And hopefully you understand these pretty easy, so just pay close attention. So these are some questions we could answer just making some observations of these line plots. It says, what was the highest temperature? Now I want you to be careful. That doesn't say how many days had the highest temperature. It's not asking you to count the x's. It's asking you to what is the highest temperature. Well, if you think back to what these numbers and what these x's are meaning in our chart, the x's are the days. So the numbers are the temperature. So we just want to see which was the highest temperature. Well, we have 84, but aren't there numbers here that are bigger than 84? Yeah, all of these are. In fact, we put them in order from smallest to greatest. So we know that the highest one should be 90. That is the highest number we have on our chart. And there was a day that it was 90 degrees. So the highest temperature that day, or that month, would have been 90. And then this little circle is the symbol for degrees. So the highest temperature. Remember, these numbers, we said they represent the temperatures, so these numbers would be what we look at to figure out when our question asks us about temperature. So when our next question says, what is the lowest temperature? Well, if 90 was my highest and I went from smallest to greatest or biggest, or from smallest to biggest, I know that 84 was my smallest number. So 84 must have been my lowest temperature. I didn't write any number smaller than that. So 84 degrees would have been my lowest temperature. It's the smallest number I have on here. The next question says, which temperature was the most common? Most common meaning it happened the most. There was the most days that temperature occurred, right? That temperature occurred more days than any other temperature. So my answer, it says which temperature, so I know my answer should be a number, but it's saying which one happened the most. Well, remember, each of these x's represents a day. So like when we look at 86, 86 never even happened. So I definitely wouldn't say that the temperature of 86 happened the most. 80, and neither with 88. 85, 89, and 90, those all happened one day. They only have one x, so they only happened one day. But 84 and 87 degrees both have 2 x's, which means those both happened 2 days each. So actually, the temperature that was the most common is actually a tie between 84 and 87 degrees. So I would say 84 degrees and 87 degrees. The most common, guys, just means the most times that it happened, the one that happens the most times. And if each x represents 1 day, that means that the temperatures of 87 degrees and 84 both happened 2 days, which is more than any of the other ones occurred. Hope you're still with me. This says which was the least common. So which temperature was the least common? Okay, so if we pick the ones with the most x's to be the most common, least common should probably be the ones with the least amount of x's, the ones that happened the least amount of times. Well, we already said 84 and 87 were the most. And we have these ones that only happen 1 day, but we have some that happen even less than 1 day. We have 2 that didn't even happen at all. So I would say those 2 happened the least. So again, we have kind of a tie. So 86 degrees and 88 degrees Both happened 0 times, so those happened the least amount. The last question says, how many days were measured all together? Remember, this all together is a good indicator that we should add. So when we're thinking about this, it's how many days, not how many temperatures, how many days. And if we know that each x equals 1 day, then we should just be able to count these x's and see how many days we measured the temperature. So we measured the temperature for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we measured the temperature for 7 days. This is just like the comparison in class that we made when we said that if we have 10 blocks or 10 x's on our plot, that means we talked to 10 people, or that means there were 10 results. The amount of x's represent how many times each one occurred. Let's look at another one. So this one was already made. This is a graph like we made, but it goes from 1 to 10. And let's see what it says. It says Tom was selling boxes of chocolate candy for his school's fundraiser. He plotted the number of boxes he sold in the line plot below. Use it to answer the questions. So we notice it starts with 1, goes to 10. These numbers down here, it says they represent the days. Okay, so it says he was selling chocolate. So these are all the days that he went selling chocolate. And over here it tells us that each x equals 1 box of chocolate. So on day 1, the way we would read this, on day 1, he sold 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. I know those represent boxes because over here, this is called your key. Over here it says that each x equals 1 box. So on day 1, he sold 4 boxes. On day 2, he sold 3 boxes. And you can count each day, and you can be able to tell. So it says which day, so our answer will be one of these numbers, what day did he sell the least amount of boxes? So if each of these x's represents 1 box, we should be looking for the day with the smallest amount of x's, which would be day 5. So day 5 has the smallest amount of x's, so that is the one that they sold the least amount of boxes of chocolate that day. This next question says, how many total boxes did he sell? Whoa. There again, guys, if it says that each x equals 1 box and we want to figure out how many boxes he sold altogether, how many total, that makes me think we want to add them all up or count them all up, right? Now this might take a minute and we have to be very careful, but we can add these all up and we can total and see how many he sold each day. So these are all the days that he was selling, and this is how many he sold each day. So to figure out how many total boxes he sold, I need to figure out and add together how many he sold each day. So let's just count up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. Woo-wee, that took me a minute. But you saw I was able to count each x to figure out the total number of boxes. You have to be very close attention. It didn't say how many days did he sell boxes for, because then I want to count the days, but it asks how many boxes, and each box is 1x, so I know I have to count the x's. And this next one says, how many days did he sell 5 or more boxes? So I'm going to look at each day. It says how many days, so I'm going to tell him how many of these days. 5 or more. So I'm going to look at each one. This one he did 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not 5 or more, so I'm going to put an X down here. That one didn't. This one's 3. That's not 5 or more. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 5 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, that counts as 5 or more too, because we said 5 or more. Not just more than 5, 5 or more. Well, we can see that this one he didn't sell 5 or more. And we don't even have to see these to see that all of these have done 5 or more. And if you want to count to double check, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. So if this is 6, that means all of these are definitely more than 5. So now we can just go back and count how many days did he sell 5 or more boxes. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This last question says, how many days did he sell 5 or less? Ooh, tricky. So let's see. Now notice, just like the last one, it said 5 or less, not just less than 5. So this one had 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's less than 5. 3 is less than 5. Well, this is definitely more than 5. This is exactly 5. So that one would still count because it says 5 or less. So that one still counts. 1 is definitely less than 5. And I already know that all of these are more than 5, so none of those count either. So let's see how many was 5 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 days were 5 or less. All right. Let's look at a few other questions with this. So we have the same graph here. It's all about Tom and his chocolate still. So which day did Tom sell the most boxes? I want you to think about this, and if you need to pause the video for a moment to think, go ahead and do that. So which day did Tom sell the most boxes? Well, there again, guys, we know that each X equals 1 box. So I'm looking for the day down here that has the most amount of X's. I'm going to look and I can just tell which one is the highest. And it looks like this one right here in the middle, this one is the highest. It has the most amount of X's, and that is on day 6. So which day did Tom sell the most boxes? Day 6. Pretty easy, right? The next one says, how many more boxes did he sell on day 6 than on day 9? So let's look at it for a second. Let's erase this. Let's look at day 6 and day 9. On day 6, let's see how many he sold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to put 12 up here. He sold 12. And let's look at day 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, just double counting. 7. So it says, how many more boxes did he sell on day 6 than on day 9? So we know, we can see, on day 6 he sold more boxes than he did on day 9. But the question is saying, how many more boxes did he sell on day 6 than he did on day 9? So if I know that day 6 was more, in order to figure out the difference, I need to subtract. So I can do 12 minus 7 to figure out how many more he sold on day 6. So 12 minus 7, I know that 12 minus 7, if I were to work that out, would be 5. So how many more boxes did he sell on day 6 than day 9? 5 more. Which day did he sell the least amount of boxes? Well, when we were looking for the most amount of boxes, I looked for the day with the most amount of X's. If I'm looking for the day with the least amount of boxes, I should look for the day with the least or smallest amount of boxes, right? Of X's. So that looks like it's definitely day 5. That day he only sold 1 box. Last question. What is the difference? Ooh, that's a good word. The difference in how many boxes he sold on day 7 compared to day 10. So let's look at that. Day 7, he sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And on day 10, he sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this question right here is really similar to how many more boxes did he sell on this day. This question and this one are really similar. It says, what is the difference in how many boxes he sold on day 7 and then compared to day 10? So there again, what is the difference? That always tells me I need to subtract. So on day 7, he sold 11 boxes, but on day 10, he only sold 6. So just like I subtracted before, I can subtract now. So another way I could solve this subtraction is I could count up. I could start at 6 and count to 11. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that difference would also be 5. So 5 boxes would be the difference. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. If you need to rewatch this video in order to understand something or to think and look at a different type of problem, go ahead and do that now. Good luck on your assignment.